Now, with the world leaning towards measures to reverse climate change, the latest report by the International Energy Agency says global investments in clean energy are now 70% higher in comparison to fossil fuels. This comes amid a hike in fossil fuel prices and energy giants move to look for more fossil fuel deposits. Here's a report.
Investment in clean energy technologies is significantly outpacing spending on fossil fuels. This as affordability and security concerns triggered by the global energy crisis strengthen momentum behind more sustainable options. For every dollar invested in fossil fuels, about $1.7 are now being invested in green energy. 5 years ago, this ratio was equal. Reacting to this, the executive director of IEA said clean energy is moving faster than many people realize. This is clear in the investment trends, where clean technologies are pulling away from fossil fuels. One great example of this rise in investment is the increased spending on solar energy. For the first time ever, solar energy investments are set to overtake the amount of investment which was earlier going just into oil production. Another example is low emissions electricity technologies like electric vehicles. These are expected to acquire almost 90% of investments in the power generation sector. And it's not just businesses, consumers are also investing in more electrified end users. A major reason for this shift to clean energy is the Russia-Ukraine war. Russia cut natural gas pipeline deliveries to the European Union by around 80% in 2022. This exposed consumers to higher energy bills and supply shortages. The move led investors to step up non-Russian gas supply, build up alternative delivery infrastructure, and scale up alternatives to natural gas. This increase in clean energy spending in recent years is heavily concentrated in a handful of countries. As per IEA's report, China was among the top investors in clean energy, followed by European Union, Japan, United States and India. China's investment rose by almost $184 billion. But nations like Indonesia and Russia lie on the lower end of the spectrum. In response to China's rising investments, US President Joe Biden touted a new $60 million solar project in South Carolina.
We're in a real race. China's ahead of us. This is another step in helping us meet the goal of 100% clean, renewable energy electricity by 2035. By 2035, all electricity in America is going to be generated by clean energy.
India is also emerging as a global leader in clean energy investment. The nation is accelerating its transition towards sustainable energy solutions. A combination of factors fuels India's clean energy drive. These include strong economic growth and concerns about energy security in the face of global energy crisis. Bureau Report, WION World is One.
Oleg Savitsky is now joining us from Kiev. Savitsky is an energy policy expert and a campaign manager of Razom We Stand. Savitsky, thank you very much for joining us on this program. I'll start by asking you, investment in clean energy technologies is significantly outpacing spending on fossil fuels, but big energy companies are also on the hunt for newer deposits. What does this mean?
Actually, data from International Energy Agency shows that most of the record profits that big oil and gas companies received last year because of the spikes in energy prices, they paid out in dividends to shareholders, and actually not a lot is going into new exploration, but still they invest a significant amount of money into new exploration, which totally contradicts decarbonization and climate goals agreed in the Paris Agreement.
Oleg, a major reason for this shift to clean energy is the Russia-Ukraine war. Will there be a significant shift when the war ends, or are we going to see an uptick in green energy?
We hope so, and we work with Ukraine government and international partners to set up the scene for Ukraine to become a major destination for investments in green energy. And just 2 weeks ago, the Ukrainian parliament adopted a new law that sets a new framework for renewable energy investments and establishes new mechanisms for renewable energy projects and simplifies access to the market for the new players. And we hope that Ukraine, after winning the war, will become a global destination for clean energy investments.
All right, talking about investments, we are seeing an increase in clean energy spending in recent years, which is heavily concentrated in a handful of countries, especially developed ones. Will the developing countries and poorer nations be able to catch up, or will they be dependent on fossil fuels?
This is a great question, and this depends on international collaboration, technology transfer, and also in a large extent on the multilateral development banks and institutional investors like pension funds, other big investors who should really get into climate finance in developing countries and also in Ukraine, in our region, to support energy transition and also to boost the displacement of Russian fossil fuels and replace them with clean energy for European energy security.
All right, I've been talking to Savitsky, who is an energy policy expert and a campaign manager of Razom We Stand. Oleg Savitsky, thank you very much for talking to WION World is One today.
Thanks. Have a nice day.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.